I paid your brother's tuition again, I muttered, dropping my phone on the table. That's 3 semesters in a row now. Sophie didn't look up from her makeup bag. Yeah, I'll pay you back. Eventually. You said that last year, and I meant it. She touched up her eyeliner, completely calm. I didn't ask you to do it. You didn't have to. He was going to drop out. And what? You want me to apologize for having a family? Her tone sharpened. No, I sighed and leaned back. I just thought we were in this together. She turned, finally making eye contact. We are, really. I gestured around the room. Because I'm working double shifts, sleeping 3 hours a night, and you're planning brunch. That's not fair. She grabbed her bag and stood. I'm allowed to have a life I'm funding, I muttered. She froze, keys in hand. Wow. I didn't mean yes you did, she snapped. Everything you do for my family, you throw it in my face later. I stood too. Because I'm breaking my back for people who don't even say thank you? Your dad's hospital bill? I maxed out my credit card? Your mom's shop? I gave her the startup money. She's working hard, Sophie snapped. You think we're just freeloaders? No, I think I'm alone in this. She scoffed. You always want to be the hero. I want to build a future, I shouted. With you, but I can't do it if I'm the only one fighting for it. Sophie paused, her face unreadable. Then maybe stop trying so hard. Hit harder than I expected. I stared at her, waiting for her to take it back. She didn't. You know what hurts? Said quietly. Not the work, not the money. The fact that you're changing, Sophie. This isn't the girl I fell in love with. I grew up, she said flatly. No, I said, shaking my head. You grew away. There was a long silence. Then she mumbled, I have to go. Of course you do. She hesitated by the door. I didn't ask you to play savior. I didn't play, I said. I committed. She left without another word. I sat down, feeling the weight of everything I'd done for her family. Time I spent tutoring her brother so he could pass calculus. The night I rushed her dad to the ER when no one else could. The weekends I gave up to help her mom with inventory. Every part of me was tangled in their lives. And now she was untangling herself from mine. The door creaked open again. Forgot my charger, Sophie said, avoiding my eyes. I handed it to her. Will you be back tonight? She hesitated. Maybe I echoed quietly. Left again. This time it felt final. Asterisk Sophie, where are you going dressed like that? She adjusted her blazer in the mirror. It's just dinner. Networking. You wouldn't get it. Networking. Since when does networking require heels and lipstick at 9 p.m.? Jason, not everything's a conspiracy. She grabbed her purse. You should trust me. I do, I said quietly. But it feels like I'm losing you. She rolled her eyes. Don't be dramatic. Then help me understand. You barely talk anymore. You come home late, you leave early, you don't even touch your food. I'm building something, she snapped. Something bigger than grocery bills and overdue rent. I can't babysit your emotions every night. My emotions? I stepped back. Sophie, I've worked 3 jobs this week. I paid off your dad's surgery, remember? I never asked you to. You didn't have to. We were a team. Yeah, well, teams evolve. My chest tightened. Are you seeing someone? Her pause was too long. I'm networking. She repeated, her tone cold. You're insecure, and it's exhausting. I glanced at her phone on the counter. The screen lit up. Charles. Can't wait to see you again. Last night was wow. My hands went cold. Charles. She snatched the phone. You're invading my privacy now. Who is he? I just told you last night was wow. Sophie, what the hell is happening? She crossed her arms. You want the truth? Yes. He's successful. He listens. He makes me feel like I matter. I stared at her like I didn't recognize the person in front of me. I thought we were building something together. We were. But then you settled. You're still stuck in survival mode, Jason. I want more. You mean more than loyalty? More than love? I gave everything I had to your family, and maybe that was your mistake. Her words slapped harder than I expected. I staggered back into the wall. You want me to apologize for wanting a better life? She asked. Double quotes, no. I want you to tell me the truth. Do you love him? She looked down. I don't know. Do you still love me? Her silence said everything. I nodded slowly. Right. So, all the late nights, the designer clothes, the new perfume eat, wasn't for me. I never meant to hurt you. Too late. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. The next morning she texted, "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. Hours passed. I sat on the steps outside our apartment, staring at the sky, wondering how love becomes a transaction. Her brother called. Jason, Sophie's been crying. She said you freaked out. I caught her texting another man. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, tell her I hope Charles makes her feel as safe as I did. You don't mean that? I do. I ended the call. That night, Sophie came home early. I didn't go, she said quietly. To him, to the dinner. I didn't look up. Congratulations. I've been selfish. I wanted to feel seen. You think I haven't? Wanted that too? She sat beside me. We're different people now. I haven't changed, I said. I'm still the guy who stayed. I know. Her voice broke. I stood. I won't beg for you. Not anymore. I'm not asking you to. Good, I said, because I'm done being a backup plan. She nodded. Then maybe we both need to stop pretending. The next morning, her things were packed. Asterisk Sophie. I stepped inside, confused. Why are there suitcases by the door? She didn't look up, just folded a blouse with machine-like precision. I was going to tell you tonight. Tell me what? My chest tightened. What's going on? I'm leaving, Ethan. What? Leaving for what? A trip? She sighed. No, for good. I stood frozen. You're breaking up with me? I'm not breaking up. I'm moving on. What the hell does that even mean? She finally looked at me. Her eyes didn't flinch. It means I've outgrown this life. Outgrown us. You're joking, right? Sophie, is this because of the argument last week? It's because I was tired and it's not about one fight? Her voice was calm. It's everything. You're a good man, Ethan. But I want more. More. That word hit like a punch. More. After everything I've done, your family, your brother's tuition, your dad's surgery, was none of that enough? I didn't ask for that. Don't do that, I snapped. You know damn well you did. You cried in my arms when the bills came. You said we were a team, and we were. She looked away. But teams evolve. Sometimes the weak players get left behind. My breath caught. Weak. I'm the only reason you even had a chance to chase anything. That's the thing, she said, zipping her bag. I don't want to chase anymore. I want to arrive. So. Charles already has, huh? Her hands froze. Excuse me? I saw the text, Sophie. I know about him. You went through my phone? No. You left it on the couch while I was paying your mom's rent. She folded her arms. You're insecure. I'm human. You don't trust me. You're walking out with your life in a suitcase and someone else's name on. Your screen. You're twisting things. No, I said, voice breaking. I'm seeing them clearly for the first time. She grabbed her coat. Look, I didn't mean for it to happen like this, but dragging it out would have made it worse. You could have talked to me. You could have said something before packing behind my back. I didn't want a scene. Well, congratulations. You got one. She paused at the door. Ethan, I'll always be grateful. Don't you dare. I'm serious. You used me. I didn't. You thanked me, Sophie, for being a stepping stone. She winced. Do you know how disgusting that sounds? I just meant you meant exactly what you said, I whispered. Got what you wanted and now you're stepping off. Better than dragging both of us down in a sinking. Life. My fists clenched. You think love is a transaction? No, I think love should grow. This one didn't. She opened the door. You're a good man, Ethan. Just not the one for me. I didn't respond. The door clicked. Shut behind her, and the silence left behind was deafening. I sat on the couch. The same couch we bought from a garage sale. Same one we used to fall asleep on watching movies. It smelled like her perfume. I stared at the blank wall. No music, no fan. Just the low hum of betrayal vibrating in my ears. How do you grieve? Someone who's still breathing, just walking around in a world that no longer includes you. My phone buzzed. Message from her brother. Hey man, Sophie said you guys split. I'm so sorry. Just wanted to thank you again for everything. You changed my life. I turned it over face down. The irony burned. I changed everyone's life, but mine. I picked up the picture frame by the bookshelf. It said graduation. She wore my hoodie over her dress. Said it was her good luck charm. Lies look so beautiful in still frames. I let the frame fall. Glass cracked. I didn't move. I just sat there in the dark. Not crying. Not shouting. Just empty. Was I really not enough? I whispered to the dark. No. One answered. But deep down, I already knew the truth. I was enough. It's just not for someone who only loved me when. I gave everything and asked for nothing, and now I had nothing. Not even her lies to hold on to. You're evicting me? I stared at the landlord. Ethan, you're 3 months behind. I gave you time. I just need 2 more weeks. He sighed. You said that last month. I'll find something. Anything. I'm sorry. He wasn't. He turned and walked away before I could say more. I sat on the curb outside my building. My building. The one I painted, fixed, stayed loyal to. Gone. I called my manager again. Straight to voicemail. Then my phone buzzed. Text. Due to company restructuring, your position has been dissolved effective immediately. I laughed. Actually laughed. 1 text. 2 disasters. I tried calling Sophie's mom. No answer. Her dad. Straight to voicemail. Her brother, who used to call me every week, blocked. Every bridge burned the moment I had nothing left to offer. I pawned my watch, the one Sophie gifted me. Bought 3 days of food. By day 5, I was sleeping in my car behind a gas station. Hey. Man, the clerk tapped on my window one night. You can't stay here. I'm not bothering anyone. It's policy. I nodded. Drove to a quiet street and parked under a broken streetlight. That became home. I skipped breakfast, then lunch. Dinner was chips in a gas station, coffee. By day 10, my ribs were sharp against my shirt. I didn't recognize my reflection in the rearview mirror. One night, I sat on a bench near the park. An old man with a shopping cart stopped in front of me. You look worse than me, he chuckled. I forced a smile. Yeah, rough week. He unwrapped half a sandwich. Take it. I'm good. You're lying. I stared at him. Why would you give me your food? Because someone once gave me theirs. I took the sandwich with shaky hands. Thank you. He sat beside me. What's your name, Ethan? I'm Frank. You live around here? He pointed to a bench. Been living there longer than most folks have owned homes? I took a bite. The bread was dry, but I nearly cried. You didn't have to do this. He shrugged. We're all one disaster away from here. At everything, I said. Quietly. A job. A woman. A life. He nodded. And now you have perspective. I have nothing. You have breath. That something doesn't feel like enough. Then do something about it. Like what? I've applied everywhere. No one calls back. Then knock harder. Scream if you have to. But don't stay on this bench, kid. My eyes. What if I fail again? You already failed. You're still breathing. That's not failure. That's proof. I finished the sandwich in silence. Thanks, Frank. Don't thank me. Make it count. He pushed his cart and left. Me in the dark. I sat alone, wind cutting through my thin hoodie, and thought, die here or rebuild. That was the choice. And I was done dying quietly. Asterisk. You hiring? I asked the first booth guy at the community job fair. He glanced at my worn jeans. Only full-time. Must have experience. He didn't even ask in what. Just turned away. Next booth. Same story. And the next. Then I saw a quiet table near the back. No line. No flashy banner. Just a man with silver hair, hunched over a laptop. I cleared my throat. Hi, you hiring? He looked up slowly. His eyes were tired but curious. What do you know about coding? Nothing, I said, but I'm willing to learn. Free. He raised an eyebrow. Free. I nodded. I don't want a handout. I want a shot. He tilted his head. Why? Because I need to feel useful again. He closed the laptop. Sit. I sat. What's your name, Ethan? I'm Bennett. Nice to meet you. He studied me. You're desperate. I'm focused. Same thing. Sometimes. Your company, what does it do? We're trying to build a voice-based therapy app. Small team. Struggling, I hesitated. Why still try? Because I believe in it. Then let me help. He smirked. No experience. No references. No guarantee. And yet there you are. You've said you're struggling. I've got nothing to lose. You're either brave or foolish. Maybe both. He nodded slowly. Show up Monday. 9 a.m.? Really? You said you'd work for free? Prove you mean it. No. I will. Bring coffee. We shook hands. His grip was firm but gentle. That Monday, I walked into a cluttered office that smelled like old paper and burnt toast. Thought you wouldn't show, Bennett said without looking up. I brought coffee. Smart man. He tossed me a worn-out laptop. Let's see what you can absorb. The first week, I barely understood half the words they used. What's an API? I asked. Your new best friend. Bennett grinned. Google it. Then break it. Then fix it. I stayed late every day, cleaned the kitchen, fixed a broken chair, read manuals while others joked around. You trying to impress someone? One of the coders asked. Nope, just trying to catch up. By week 3, I wrote my first line of real code. Bennett looked over my shoulder. Messy, but it works. It's kind of like me, I smiled. He chuckled. Exactly. We ate instant noodles for lunch. He talked about failure like it was a rite of passage. You can't build anything without falling apart first, said one day. Then I'm halfway there. Good. Now keep building. Slept better those nights. Saved what little I got from odd-side gigs. Fixed my car window. Bought real shoes. Every day I felt a little less invisible. You ever think about starting your own thing? Bennett asked one evening as we locked up. I barely know what I'm doing now. Doesn't matter. Passion beats polish. Why'd you take a chance on me? You reminded me of myself. Broke and lost. Hungry and stubborn. We both laughed. One Friday, he handed me a check. I stared at it. What's this? Earned it. You're no longer free labor. Wasn't expecting this. I know. Thank you. Don't thank me. Build something worth thanking. That weekend, I opened a notebook and scribbled the first idea for my own app, brick by brick. I was laying the foundation, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I wasn't just surviving. I was becoming someone sir. The CEO of Verotech is waiting in Conference B. Let him wait, I muttered, adjusting my CUFFLINKs. My assistant blinked. Should I tell him Tell him I'll be there in 10. I turned away from the mirror. My reflection looked nothing. Like the man I used to be. Sharp suit, Rolex, eyes empty. I walked into my office and closed the door behind me. My phone buzzed again, an invitation to another panel discussion. I ignored it. A knock. Bennett stepped in, smiling. You're stalling again? I sat down. Hate talking to people who didn't know me before the suits. Then stop winning. Easy. For you to say, if you don't have your face plastered across Forbes, he smirked. No one put a gun to your head. No, but they did shove microphones in my face. Every time I breathe, someone calls it inspirational, because it is. I exhaled slowly. I still think about that night, Bennett. He sat across from me. What night? The night she left. He nodded. 3 years ago, feels like yesterday. Time moves forward. Pain sometimes doesn't. I built all this. I gestured around, but it still feels hollow. Because it didn't come from healing. It came from hunger. She said I wasn't enough. Then she ran off with him. Now I own 3 companies, and she's well knows where. She doesn't matter anymore. Then why does she still live in my head? Bennett leaned back. Because you never let her leave. I paused. What do I do with that? Make peace with it? Or build something better? My phone buzzed again. I picked it up, sighed, and put it down. Another interview. He asked CNN. They want my rise from Dasha's speech. He chuckled. You've become the phoenix they all quote. I still feel like ashes. A beat of silence. You ever miss the old days? I asked. Bennett raised a brow. You mean the days we couldn't afford decent coffee? Days when people saw me, not the title? Success puts you on a stage. Loneliness comes with a spotlight. I don't want a spotlight. You wanted her to see you. I met his eyes. Yeah, I did. He stood. Then find someone who sees the real you now, not the one you had to become. I don't even know who that is. Start there. He walked out, leaving me with my thoughts. Later that evening, I stood by the giant glass window of my penthouse, city lights twinkling below. My phone rang again. Unknown number, I answered. Low, a soft voice. Ethan. My stomach dropped. Who is this? Talia. Silence. You're alive, I whispered. I heard about your company. I saw you on TV. What do you want? Just wanted to say I'm sorry. You left me with nothing. I know. You didn't even look back. I thought. You'd hate me? I did? Do you still? I hesitated. I don't know. I see you've moved on. Professionally. Personality, really. I messed up. You broke me. And you rebuilt yourself. I laughed bitterly. Not for you. I didn't say that. Then why now? I thought maybe we could talk. Talk just once. I'm in town. I clenched my jaw. Let me think about it. Okay, she hung up. I stood there, staring at my reflection in the glass, still broken. I whispered to myself. Then I turned off the lights. Maybe I wasn't broken. Maybe I was just healing slowly. Subject. Just one coffee? I stared at the email on my laptop, Sophie. 3 years. Not a word. Not a whisper. And now, can we meet, please? Just once. I tapped my fingers on the desk, then replied, tomorrow. Calf blue, 11 a.m. She was already there. When I walked in, same cafe, same corner table, but she looked smaller. Hi, she said softly, rising halfway. I nodded and sat across from her. You look tired, she laughed once. That's a kind way of saying I look like crap, wasn't it? Meant to be kind, just honest. She glanced down, fidgeting with the edge of her sleeve. I didn't think you'd actually come. I didn't think you'd actually write. Fair. We sat in silence until the waiter brought coffee. I didn't order. I don't even know where to start, she said. Try somewhere after the part where you left me for my cousin. She winced. I deserved that. You deserve more than that. But I'm not here for revenge. I didn't come to fight, Ethan. Voice cracked. I came because I messed everything up. I leaned back. Let me guess, Charles. Is gone? She nodded slowly. He left a year ago. Turns out he wasn't who I thought. No kidding. He cheated. Locke got someone else pregnant. My eyebrows lifted. Wow. So poetic. She didn't laugh. Her eyes shimmered. I lost everything, Ethan. The shop closed. Mom and Dad moved. I stayed behind. Thought I'd fix it all. But... But you didn't. I couldn't. Yo. Thought you had everything back then. What changed? You blinked me. You became everything I thought Charles would be. I shook my head. You're not here because of who I am. You're here because of what you lost. No, she said a bit too loudly. People looked. She lowered her voice. I'm here because you were the only real thing in my life, and I threw it away. You chose to throw it away. Don't dress it up now. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I know I was stupid. Selfish. But I see it now, I swear. Do you? She nodded. When you walked away from that wedding, I kept checking the door. Kept hoping you'd come back and scream at me. But you didn't, because I was done screaming. I thought you'd move on with hate. But instead, you moved on with grace. I laughed bitterly. Grace? You don't know what it took to survive that? I know, and I'm sorry. I'll keep saying it if it helps. It doesn't. I don't want money or pity. I just wanted to see you. Say it to your face. I stood up. You got your closure, Sophie. She reached for my arm. Ethan, wait, please. Just here. Me out? I paused. No, I still love you. I closed my eyes. Her voice sounded so familiar, but the meaning behind it was gone. I opened them and looked at her. Really looked. You love the version of me that begged for your attention. That man doesn't exist anymore. I know that now.
Ow.
This one too, I exhaled slowly. I'm not your backup plan, Sophie. Her mouth opened, then closed. You had me when I had nothing. And you chose someone shinier. Now that you're in the dark, you want my light. She cried harder. I was wrong. Yes, you were. I turned to leave. Ethan, is this really it? She whispered behind me. I didn't look back. This is closure. Outside, the wind hit my face. My chest was tight, but not broken. I smiled faintly. I didn't need her apology. I needed to hear myself say no and mean it, asterisk. The bell above the bookstore door jingled as I stepped inside. Leo was hunched behind the counter, absorbed in a worn paperback, still reading fantasy like it's scripture. I teased. He looked up, startled. Ethan, I nodded. Hey, kid. He stood up, unsure whether to hug me or shake my hand. Wow, oh hi. You work here now? Part-time helps with rent? And escaping reality. I smiled. Faintly. Same reason I used to write. He gestured toward a stool behind the counter. Sit, please. I did. I heard you launched a book, he said. Top charts or something? Something like that? You deserve it. I'm not here for praise, Leo. I took a breath. I'm here to ask if you still want help with college. Blinked. Seriously? You're not like Sophie? I know, he said quickly. I never was. You never picked sides either. That mattered. He rubbed the back of his neck. I didn't know what to do. Everything exploded, and you just vanished. I needed to, I said. For me, he nodded. So this offer? Strings. No strings, just a fresh start if you want it. His voice broke. I want it, I smiled, and it's yours. I hadn't planned to visit Mrs. Carter, but my feet took me there anyway. Her garden was overgrown now. The porch creaked louder than before. She opened the door and gasped. Ethan. Hi, Mrs. Carter. She stepped out and hugged me like I'd never left. I'm sorry I didn't come sooner, I murmured. She waved it off. I didn't expect you to. I wouldn't have. We sat on the porch steps. The silence between us felt full, not empty. I saw Sophie recently, I said. She nodded slowly. She told me. She lost a lot. She made her choices. I looked down. So did I, but I don't hate her. Mrs. Carter blinked. You don't? I shook my head. I'm weirdly grateful. For what? For the fire. It burned. Everything down? Sure. But I walked out stronger. Her eyes filled. I blamed myself. I still do. You shouldn't. I let her chase comfort over character, and I let her define my worth. She grabbed my hand. You're worth more than she ever saw. I know that now. A tear rolled down her cheek. I reached up and wiped it away gently. I forgave her, I said. She broke them shoulders. Shaking, tears streaming, I pulled her into a hug and just let her cry. She's lost, Ethan. Still, but maybe she'll find her way. Maybe. But I can't walk her path for her. Oh, she whispered. You've got your own now. That night, I sat by the window with my journal. The city lights blinked in the distance. Quiet, steady. I picked up my pen, July 26. She left. I stayed. That's enough. I closed the journal, set it on the table, and turned off the lamp. For the first time in years, I slept without dreaming of what might have been. Asterisk, you're in Forbes, dude. Josh shoved the magazine into my hand like it was the Holy Grail. I laughed. Page 42, bottom corner. Hardly front cover material. It's Forbes. They called you a quiet literary force. That's insane. Quiet sounds about right. I leaned back. You don't even look excited. I'm grateful, I said. But it's not why I started writing again. He raised an eyebrow. Then why? To prove to myself I existed. That I mattered even if she didn't think so. He stared for a second, then nodded. Fair. 2 days later, I stood in front of a group of high schoolers. Half of them looked bored, the other half sleepy. I held up the magazine. This doesn't mean success, I said. This means survival. A kid in the front, Jace, I think, raised his hand. He got cheated on, right? That's what started all this? Everyone snickered. I smiled. Yeah, she slept with someone close. To me, broke me. I hit rock bottom. Another kid chimed in. And then you got rich? No, I said. Then I got real. They quieted. Money wasn't the win. Writing was. Facing myself was. Jace asked again. You hate her? No, I outgrew her. Someone in the back clapped. One by one, the rest followed. Afterward, Clara met me by the vending machine. Brutally honest, she said, holding out a soda. I aim for raw, not polished. You nailed it. I glanced at her. You always come to these? When you're speaking? Yeah, I smiled. You're becoming a regular? I could say the same about you. She stepped closer. You ever do something for you? Just for fun? Define fun? She laughed. Not mentoring? Not writing? Just joy. Sounds suspiciously close to dating. She shrugged. If it is, I looked at her. Really looked. Soft eyes. Steady presence. I haven't tried in years, I admitted. I'm not asking for forever, she said. Just coffee. I nodded. Okay, coffee. Later that evening, I walked down to the river. Same bench. Same journal. The water shimmered under the streetlights, slow and endless. I flipped open to the last page. The ink bled a little in the corners from a spilled coffee last week. July 29th, losing. Her gave me everything I needed. I underlined it, not out of bitterness but clarity. Behind me, someone approached. I didn't have to turn to know. You followed me, I said. Clara chuckled. You're not hard to track. I tilted my head. What are you doing here? Coffee turned into a walk. The walk turned into here. I looked at her. And now, she smiled. Now I'm sitting with a man who knows exactly who he is, and that doesn't scare you? Not even a little. I closed the journal and set it aside. Then let's sit. So we did quiet, content, and finally, whole.